Cindy Erwin. I am the Director of Annual Giving at Fenwick High School, located in Oak Park, Illinois.
Tell us about Fenwick High School. Why do students choose Fenwick?
So Fenwick High School is in a town in the near west suburbs of Chicago, a town called Oak Park. Fenwick opened in 1929. We are a Catholic with a Dominican heritage high school. In 1929, we opened up with 200 students and 11 priests. We now have approximately 1,180 students. We have many third-generation families that are at Fenwick. It is a school that is known for high academic standards, very high-quality teaching, college preparatory. Anecdotally, somebody says that we are one of the largest feeders to Notre Dame. We're one of the largest feeders to Navy historically. So very strong academics, very strong faculty, a long-standing history and tradition. So it's kind of all those kinds of things really make Fenwick a really special place.
Given all of the other fundraising opportunities, why does a private high school, which is not, sort of a typical organization that undertakes crowdfunding, what was appealing to you about crowdfunding?
I think it's also kind of interesting that it's now referred to as crowdfunding. If you asked me what online crowdfunding do you do, I would say we don't do any. We really looked at it from the concept of a day of giving, but we needed to do something different. And then we decided, because Fenwick is who Fenwick is, we wanted our own Giving Tuesday, which is very much in line with all of those things I described about Fenwick before, as opposed to the concept of crowdfunding. We don't refer to it that way.
What did you learn from your first campaign that you took into future campaigns?
Our first campaign, total experiment. We had absolutely no idea how this was going to go. And so what we learned was that our community wanted to engage, which is very different than a direct mail solicitation. It was different than participating in an event. What was really surprising for us was community who don't have a connection to Fenwick heard about it. And so that was one of our very big surprises.
How has the experience changed from year to year?
You almost can't see the connection between year one, and we just finished year 4 in February. In year 1, we had the videos, and you all gave us some really great guidelines as to what we would be able to consider a successful day. Then next year, we evolved a little bit more with our videos, and we grew even more. And then in year 3, we decided to shift up the messaging of the videos. Interestingly, our numbers plateaued, which was a little disappointing for us. And now that we are in year 4, we shifted things again. We don't do videos at all anymore. I don't know if it is a function of, that initial first year was so exciting because it was something new and different. And now in year 4, it is the same concept, but with new different little tactics that don't necessarily seem to be generating as much buzz.
With respect to your online donors and your day of giving, has that helped at all with donor fatigue in your larger efforts throughout the year?
It gives our donors a new way to give that is a little bit more entertaining. So I think that helps. We have to make sure that the day of giving isn't an out. It opens up a whole nother venue. Every once in a while, each year, we will all of a sudden have somebody who gives $1,000 who never gave before. Okay, well, that's really interesting to our gift officers. We can do a little research. Who is this person? Clearly something spoke to them in that moment. So it gives us an opportunity that way as well.
What did KDG bring to the table in the planning process?
KDG brings a level of customization absolutely we could not do on our own. It's just not possible. My vice president at the time, we sat down and we kind of talked about the pros and cons of going with out of the box version versus a custom version. And he said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it the Fenwick way. And he's like, the Fenwick way is not going to want out of the box version. So we knew going into our expectations were that you were going to give us something very, very custom. It has a bit of trepidation working with us because we're like, okay, let's try this. Let's try a gorilla in the middle of the zoo. And they're like, okay, we'll do it for you. So, very, very receptive. Your team has been wonderful at developing very custom things for us that are, a little out of the box. Partnership is really how I feel that Fenwick and KDG have. I really feel like we have a true partnership.
How have the results been for the campaigns? I mean, are you seeing a return on investment?
Yes, we are seeing a return on investment. That's incumbent upon us we can reduce our costs if we were to decide, well, we're just going to leave the site as is and we're not going to make any changes. And in that scenario, obviously it would be amazing because we have this pre-built custom site. Would I say we're happy to spend more money? Of course not. But we have no fears in deciding to do so when we make that decision.
Let's talk about campus during the event.
And so what we do on that day is, with the help of our faculty and staff, we ask every student to donate $1. The teacher, says anybody who wants to participate can. It is not required. There is no sense that you have to. The teachers are very good about that. And then what we decided to do the second year, we did the same thing. And then the third year, we decided to add some incentives to it, and we added a pep rally around it.
Any suggestions for other organizations considering crowdfunding?
Know your community. I think that is the biggest misstep, is that people look at something and be like, oh, there is a magic tree of money. But we knew our community needed something that was very unique to themselves. Understand how much work goes into it. So making sure that you have lots of stakeholders, as well as a real deep understanding of your community, I'd say, and understanding how much work it's going to be. When you really look at the data and see what you now know about your new donors.
What was it like working with KDG?
I love working with KDG. I know that sounds very cliche, and it's absolutely true. We've had some fantastic account execs. We're a unique group of people. We like to have a lot of fun. Fortunately, we have had people working with us who enjoy our fun. They know that when we are successful, that ultimately KDG is successful. And so that symbiotic relationship, it's a win-win for everybody. And again, I really do feel as that KDG is invested in the success of Fenwick's.
Thank you for that very much. Really appreciate it. It warms my heart to hear that. Cindy, is there anything else you want to add to this?
The one thing I want to say to you and your team is that we were really, really pleased this year when we brought the concept of digital wallet to you. It was something that my vice president had been wanting for a very, very long time. And I had done some research and said, hey, is there something possible? We were so pleased was that your team figured out how to do it and did it for us. And so I'm appreciative that your team was able to figure out how to do it for us. So I just want to make sure you know that about your team.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anything else, Cindy?
No, I'm good. This was a lot of fun.
Very humbling. And thank you for the partnership, over many years. And I'm so glad that it's been mutually beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you and your family continue to stay safe. Take care.
Take care, Cindy.
Okay,
Thanks
bye-bye.
again. Bye-bye.